Mayor Parker, it's such a pleasure to have you with us here today at our Leaderships program. We have a room full of emerging leaders, realtor leaders. What advice would you have for them to become a leader like you have worked through the grassroots up to the level of mayor of the fourth largest city in the United States of America? What advice would you have for them?
I started as an active community volunteer, and in the 20 years of my working career, I was always engaged as a volunteer, giving hundreds of hours a year back to the community. So I really don't care whether it's your church, your synagogue, your professional association, or as a city volunteer. It's important to give back to community.
What advice would you give them to be realtor leaders in the Houston community?
I think the most important piece of advice I have is to get involved. Get involved in your organization. You have a wonderful organization, be active in it, but also understand what Houston is and how it's made up. Obviously, the energy sector is very predominant here, but it has great public institutions.
You're a leader yourself. What advice would you give them?
Well, I would say first and foremost, get involved in your community. Get out there, get involved with your neighborhood association, civic association, whatever it is that's immediately around you, PTA, other organizations that really are out in the public realm. You gain experience and knowledge from that, and you also learn to be a leader just by doing it and by example.
You as a leader, what would be your advice to the emerging leaders whom you spoke with today?
Well, it's interesting. You have H-Town Day, and I think when you're in any kind of business where you are trying to sell a city, then you should know about the city, and especially for realtors. I think they have gotten a snippet of every facet of the city, from the tourism to the neighborhoods, the financial health, and that'll help them, I think, in their day-to-day jobs.
We have a room full of emerging leaders who are realtors. What would be your advice to them as they leave today? What's your takeaway? What should they take away today?
Well, by far the most important thing they can do to be a leader in the future is just bring forward their own knowledge. When I first ran for the legislature, the big issue was getting an overpass over Highway 59. The only reason I knew that was because I lived there. Well, realtors are out in the public all the time. They know what the public is interested in, and they need to convey that message to elected leaders. And then who knows, someday they may become one of those elected leaders themselves. And always remember that it's that local knowledge. You know, there's always this discussion of all politics is local. Well, in large measure, that's still true. And there's nobody who understands local issues better than realtors.
What would be your advice to the emerging leaders whom you saw today, whom you visited with in our leadership program?
Well, Dana, you put on an exciting program today. You had some great speakers, and they had a lot of enthusiasm for what they do and how they spend their days. My advice is to channel that enthusiasm into your group. Pick out things that are really important to your group and focus on those and work on them. Organize your communities, organize the elected officials that represent them. Houston is here by choice. It's not here because of the climate or the geography. I mean, and it was really built by human effort, and it will continue to be built by human effort.